Hey guys, this is Bridget, and I'm going to give you my top 10 hacks today on how to stay balanced and cultivate your spiritual path in a city or a suburb. I've been in cities for the past month for the first time in 5 years, and having such an outside perspective, it's really gotten to show me the benefits and also the consequences and things that we can kind of morph and transmute if you're in a city having your spiritual awakening. So I'm really excited to share with you. Number 10, counting down, are synthetic lights. That's one thing that you really want to be aware of because it's going to affect your favorite part, the pineal gland, because it really changes your hormones and your body, natural body rhythms, body clock when you're in synthetic light. And so when we have street lights at night or lots of electronics, definitely being in the city lights, it's going to influence that. So what do? Well, one thing we can do is turn on our Flux app on our phones and on our computers. I'll put the link below, and that takes out the blue and actually brings in an orange so it doesn't negatively affect our mind in that way, so we can still have really powerful, deep, rejuvenative sleep and balanced minds to have, crazy lucid dreams. And also an eye pillow, because you want your room blacked out when you sleep, and as you're going to sleep, really turning down the lights. So that's what I've noticed staying in these different places, is that the lights, just like, even if you have it covered, there's still lights coming in, so make sure that it's black. Number 9, utilize the city for what it has. There is so much creative pulse and excitement in cities. There's all kinds of creative explorations, whether it's like plays, whether it's movies, whether it's music, different qigong classes, different yoga classes, like everything is there. And so use it, go and expand all of your creative potential, all of the ways that you think and imagine and cultivate new pathways. So use the city and the suburb in that way. Number 8, this is one of my faves, is most cities and suburbs are built on certain ley lines, built on certain sacred sites, and that's why they're there, because one of the things that they are doing is utilizing the power and that grid, that mind hive mentality to extract energy and to influence. So go figure out what your city was built on. And I was just in Asheville, North Carolina, and that city was actually the obelisk that is aligned with Washington, D.C., is built on a Native American burial ground. So what that's doing is it's taking away the power of the people, and it's also bringing in that current of energy, that sacredness, and putting it out through the obelisk and radiating it out. So it's siphoning that energy. But if you can tap into the true Native American spirit that is of that land and the mountains all around, then you're connecting into the real natural energy grid. So that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to transition from the matrix grid into the natural energy grid that you can utilize and tap into. You can do this by figuring out what that story is, tuning in, really going to the roots of what is the earth energy there, and tap into that as your fuel source as you go around the city. Number 7, detox. Okay, we know tons of pollution, tons of chems in the sky, so we gotta detox when we're in that highly polluted area. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sweat. So that means like hot yoga or like sauna 1 to 2 times a week, getting out all of the impurities and the toxins, the heavy metals. And so really getting that detox practice into play, doing whatever methods work for you, drinking green juice, detoxing the liver, just really making sure that's good. And of course the lungs, big focus on the lungs, taking cordyceps mushrooms, and really detoxing. Number 6, get into nature. It seems when you're in the city, there's something that just like keeps you going and going and going, and it's like the phone and then this and then this and then this, and it's very like high strung for the nervous system, and it seems so counterintuitive to actually go into nature. It's like, no, I gotta do this. And so go to nature at least once a day. Go plan your lunch, go after work, whatever it is, go sit in nature barefoot on the ground for at least like 30 minutes, if not more, and just synchronize with the organic geometries of nature and return to your natural self and really have that as a part of your practice, because the city is made up of 90-degree angles, and so you're not going to get as much spiritual download able to enter into the dimension. So really get into nature. Number 5, water. You guys. Okay, the city water is crazy. Showering in city water is crazy. And this, our skin, is the biggest organ on the body. And it absorbs all of that chlorine, all that fluoride, all that shiz. And so get a shower filter that blocks at least the chlorine and the other stuff so that you aren't absorbing that into your skin, because with that chlorine, what it does is it's killing all the gut flora, and we want the gut flora because it has the intelligence that balances us, balances the mind, does all the great stuff. So really get a shower filter, and what you're drinking, get rid of the plastic, we know this, but if you can, go to a natural spring, maybe outside the city once or twice a month, and get spring water or get some kind of purified water. Brita does not count. Reverse osmosis, but that's pretty dead. So getting some kind of structured living water that you're intaking. Mountain Valley spring water actually will ship water to you in glass from the spring if you have the cash to do it. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's a really good way of doing it if you can. So just really getting in the pure water, because that is, again, the frequency of balance and hydration that will keep you alive and vibrating. Number 4, go against the hive mind. When you're in a city, you start going with the flow. It's Monday morning, wake up, stress, blah, 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 blah. Whatever that flow is, whatever that mindset is, you're a part of that hive. So be aware that you are a part of it, and be aware of ways that you can kind of like exit out and go against the current once in a while, just so that you're not in that ant movement. So like maybe take Monday morning off and go to brunch, or and then work on Saturday morning on something when the energy is more balanced. So really be aware of the hive mind, be aware and play with it, and see like where the current collective is at, and see if you can embed it with new frequencies. And so if there's like a news story that's out that everyone's talking about that day, do the counter, talk about something loving, talk about something balanced. So see what you can do in that way. Number 3, electromagnetics. Okay, crazy. There's usually like anywhere from 5 to 20 to 30 Wi-Fi signals going through you. All of those waves, and then also, the cell towers and all the other craziness. So really figure out how to balance your electromagnetics. Now, this can be done in lots of different ways. There's shungite, there's different energy balancers that you can put around your bed when you're sleeping that you can wear on you. And I'll put links to my favorite ones below, because it makes a world of a difference. And this is really going to affect your sleep and your dreaming. And we know that the dreaming and the sleep is what is helping this awakening and giving you the new insights and the inspiration. So really make sure to balance your electromagnetics. Number 2 is to really get out. Get out of the city and the suburbs at least a few times a month if you can, on the weekends, and a few times a year. Take like a week away so that you can really get the contrast of how you feel, how your brain's working, and to really understand what you want, who you are, that's not under the influence of the mind, the hive mind. And so take time, big trips in nature, or big trips to sacred sites, or something you love to do, something that cultivates your spiritual development. Take time to do that and take a step out of the grind of that matrix city, and it's really going to help you and really bring you new energy and a new perspective as you come back in. And the last one, number 1, you've waited for this. Number 1 is to use the city or the suburb as a mirror. It can be a very accelerative place to expand and to explore. So you're surrounded by hundreds, thousands, millions of people wherever you are, and so talk to them. use it as an experiment. Actually engage. That's something that's counter Hive, right? It's to actually sit down next to the person and use synchronicity. Notice what's happening. Notice when you're walking down the street, maybe like a sign of something that you've always wanted to do, or a person that brings up a judgment in you and that you can move through it really quickly. So use it as kind of like this fun experiment, kind of like a game simulation of how you can shift and transform all the more quickly, and how you can love, how you can serve, how you can radiate your energy. And I did a full video on this idea, and I'll put the link to it, of how to utilize the city, the matrix, these themes before exiting, before getting out, you know, and going into 5D and ascending. There's so much we can give, so much we can learn. So do that in the city. So that is my top 10. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that it has new insights, maybe that you haven't heard from before, or new perspectives, things to incorporate. And if you like videos like this, please like, subscribe, and share, and put any extra video topics you want in the comments below, and I'll be sure to make them for you guys. Thanks so much. I love you. And as for me, I'm headed to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Very exciting. And then I'm headed actually to the forest for 2 months. So there will be more, though. I'm gonna do a video from Washington, D.C., and that'll be really fun. And it's all good. It's all good. All energies are perceivable anywhere. Might take a little bit more work, but they're perceivable anywhere. So just know that, and open your vessel to the grand magnet that you are.